Hi Miriam, we got your email. So it took me a little while to respond. I've been very busy. I'm going to read out what you've asked me and I'll answer in order, okay? B'ezrat Hashem. I've been finding it really hard to focus on posing my subjects when I'm so busy checking the stats or finding the right focus. Okay, there's a new thing. I'm gonna respond to each sentence or piece of sentence as I go. Okay, I've been finding it really hard to focus on posing my subjects when I'm so busy checking the stats or finding the right focus. Okay, I'm sorry, it's so boring, but practice. Some people can drive a car. Remember when you first started driving a car, or if you drive a car. When I was first driving a car, I'd be like this. And my mum would say to me, okay, and I'd be like, shh. And now you're like, you sit back, you're like this, you're playing with the phone and with the heating, with the texting and the blinkers, and etc. You get used to it, okay? The more you do it, the more you get used to it, and there's no shortcuts. Sorry, there's just no shortcuts. Okay, so getting the focus and stuff, it's just, you have to keep practicing. Just keep practicing in the focus, and the stats will become, if you follow the class, the stats are straightforward in that first you set your white balance, okay? Then you make sure your ISO is at 200, and then you adhere to the maximum, the widest aperture. Remember the 3 questions is aperture is widest, shutter speed is quickish, and ISO is lowish. But set your ISO first, then set your your aperture, and then you work with your shutter speed. It's really, if you stay with that and you practice, it really will get much easier. I guarantee it will get much easier. Okay, I was also disappointed with myself at my last photo shoot. I didn't send this photo shoot to you yet because I had so many of the nice pics where the baby is laughing and the balance and everything else is perfect, but the focus isn't right. Okay, I also have photo shoots that I'm not happy with. That's how it goes. You have good days, you have bad days. You have difficult situations, you have easy situations. It's just, that's just how it goes. You have bad days. Especially at the beginning when, you're learning so much. Even in my situation, I've done it so many times that it's rare that there's something, not that it can't happen, but it is rare that some kind of, novel situation appears. But still, you're in the beginning of the learning process, so you have to just you just have to know that that's how it goes. You have good days, you have bad days. You have times when your mind is functioning amazingly, and you have times when it isn't. You have times when you're happy, times when you're sad, and that also, if you have also different kinds of clients, different kinds of people, different kinds of energies, weather, all the different things come together, and the end of it is, sometimes you have good experiences and sometimes not. Okay, if there's like emotional disconnect and stuff like that as well, that really, with the clients, that will really impact the photographs as well. So just keep that in mind. Okay, I also had quite a few pics where I just wasn't steady enough, even at a 500th of a second. So to be also, I don't know what camera you're using, but I'm not sure. I can't remember what camera you're using. 1 second, I can look very quickly. Excuse me. You are using a Rebel. Okay, so you do have to realize that there is absolutely a reason why people spend an extra $2,500 on a camera, i.e. getting like a 5D Mark III or Mark IV instead of a Rebel. And if you do move up into a professional camera, you'll see especially things like focusing, is much better, much more accurate on the much more expensive cameras. And you have to know, at the end of the day, you are using amateur equipment, and it is limited. Even though you can do amazing things with it, you do have to know it is limited. Okay, so in regards to not holding your camera steady at 500th of a second, it could be that, but more likely than not, it's the camera's just, it didn't catch the perfect focus, or the lens got diffracted with different light, or whatever it is. It could be many things. You should be able to hold the camera steady at a 500th of a second. You really should. Okay. If you move it like that, then it won't be. But if you're just holding it regular, A 500th of a second should be good enough to steady. It also depends on how zoomed in you are very much, but it should still be okay. Okay, it's probable that's another important point. Depending on your lens, if you're zooming in, if you have a zoom lens and you're zooming in very close, then that will also impact the ability to hold it steady. Like we learned that if you're zoomed in very close, you have to hold the camera much steadier. Like when you're holding binoculars, you know, any kind of vibration, you see it crazy. Okay. It's probably just that I need to practice more. It is that you need to practice more. Please, please, please remember, it's all practice. It's all practice. I was saying to someone, a couple of classes the other day, I was thinking about it. I always tell you to do the homework first. To do the photo shoot first, and the homework is secondary, but you should always do both. So I was saying that in the class, when you hear the class, that's the information going into your mind. And then when you do the homework and you like practice the concepts, that's the information going into your heart. But then when you actually go out and do the photo shoot and you're shooting and keeping on consistently shooting, then it goes into your hands. And that's where we want it. Okay, that's where we want it. We want the skill in our hands. Okay, is it still to be that? Is it supposed to be that hard for me at this point? Don't get me wrong, I did get quite a few nice picks. It's just frustrating that so many nice ones needed to end up in the trash. Yeah, it's hard. It's especially hard. I think you can definitely attribute some of this to your camera. Okay, I think you can. Not that you should. Like, you should definitely be trying with the camera, but there is, like I just said before, there is a reason why people spend so much money on professional cameras. Okay, also, I've been spending hours after the shoot going through all the pics. If a baby has some scratches on their face, or I want to soften their skin and bring out the eyes and all the pics, I send the clients. I send them. Should I choose only 10 pics to send them? You're basically, should I touch up 10 pics? I can't work for hours on 100, 200 pics for the whole session. I do understand that. So this is my thoughts on this, okay? And this really is a whole class in itself, but just touching on how to present your stuff to your clients. You need to present it in like shlavim, stages, in levels. So if you give them 200 pictures from the shoot, people are like, there's like, let's say you take out the best 5 pictures from the shoot and you show them 5 pictures, they're like, wow, amazing, amazing, fantastic. If you take those same 5 and you mix them, let's say you show them now 30 pictures with the 5 amazing ones and then 25 mediocre, the reaction is going to be less, and especially when you present them in the whole portfolio. So what I do is I have my whole let's say I take 500 pictures from a session. Let's say I take more than that, much more than that usually. Let's say the real numbers. Let's say I take 750 pictures from a 1 hour session. Okay, my editor goes through and narrows them down to say 200. From the 200, we end up. I create what I call my diamond selection, which is like say 60 pictures, let's say 70 or 80 pictures actually nowadays, and then I go through again and make a slideshow of about 30 pictures. Now those 30 pictures I take and I do an edit on Lightroom, like myself, a bit more of a fancy edit. In regards to getting involved in blemishes and stuff like that, my advice would be, the way that I run my business is that I don't get involved in that. When people print their pictures, then I get involved in that. Things in the background, like stupid things in the background that are very quick to remove, they should be removed. But the goal is to make. There shouldn't be stupid things in the background, really. That's the point. You're going to be making your job as easy as possible in the editing. But let's say you're stuck and there is a certain thing in the background. Put it in a place where it isn't like intersecting the subject, so it's just in the middle of like a green, so you can just use the what's it called, the heel brush tool, and it will take it away. That kind of thing, that can be dealt with. That should be dealt with. Also, get over the idea of having to give like millions of pictures of one thing, one series. Like if you've taken say 20 pictures of the family of 6 of them, they don't need to see 12 pictures of that. If you could present them with 3 pictures of that, that's fine. You should definitely need more than one. You should also be engineering the odds of making sure to be getting people, everyone looking at you, everyone with their eyes open. You have to take a lot of pictures. It's much easier to delete pictures than it is to create, like face swaps and all that kind of stuff. So try and avoid that, and then you'll be able to bring your workload down. These slideshows are an excellent idea. Excellent idea that I feel a lot of my business, the success of a lot of the business is through those slideshows. Okay, let me just finish the final thing I'm going to run. Right now I'm doing photo shoots for free for friends, family, and all their friends and families. That is an amazing idea. The way I teach all my students is you should understand at the beginning of the business, it makes sense, not that you should be doing this, but it would make sense for you to pay people to take pictures of them. Each shoot that you do is worth so much, and just the practice itself, even if they're not happy, but the practice itself. But if you can start making people happy, really going the extra yard for them, being very trustworthy and being very professional, the word's professional. If you can be very, very professional for people love professionalism, then you're building your business exactly like we said, and you're doing excellently. I still want to come across as professional. Okay, great minds think alike. As professional as possible, though, because I want them to refer me to other people once I start charging. I'm viewing these customers as if they paid me full price. Excellent. That's exactly what I would be doing if I were you. I think you're in a really good place, and remember the P word, okay? Because that really is the king. Practice is everything. I think this is enough information. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Click like if it was. Okay, all the best.